Vuori. Chances are, if you've been in the activewear space for the last 5 years, you've heard of this brand. What is Vuori and how has it completely taken over the activewear industry? What is it that Vuori does, if we were to unpack it, that makes it into this premium, high-end, aspirational brand? My name is Shadi. I'm the co-founder and creative director of FittDesign, the world's first digital fashion design agency. We focus on sportswear, and I have literally helped thousands of brands over the last 10 years to design and develop sportswear. So number one, and this may come as no surprise to you, is that it all starts with the fabric. Fabric is the first thing that we touch and feel as consumers. They want to know that the fabric that they're wearing is going to actually meet the needs of their daily demands. And what Vuori does, which is a bit different than what a startup brand might do, or even some of the more established brands, is they don't start with the product first. They don't start with the silhouette first. Number one is going to be their dream knit fabric, which is a blend of 89% recycled polyester and 11% elastane or spandex. It has a very soft and brushed finish, which we call a peached finish, which makes it feel almost like cotton. This gives it that fuzzy, warm, familiar feeling, but at a slightly lower GSM of between 220 and 240 GSM. They use this product and this fabric for your daily use items. Number two is their Bliss Blend trademark fabric, and this one is characterized by having a much higher elastane or spandex percentage. It's a blend of 75% recycled nylon and 25% elastane or spandex. Is that it feels lightweight, or this is primarily coming due to the nylon, which has more inherent stretch in the fibers than traditional polyester. A garment that is going to be cut around the body and it's going to hug and shape the body and move with the body. This type of fabric is predominantly used in their leggings and their sports bras, and it's going to be engineered for Pilates, yoga. Also, and this is a sort of like a pro tip, they actually tend to use much finer yarns. So really, Vuori is paying top dollar to create the best-in-class fabrics that have a silky smooth touch that most brands are not able to do. Number three is their Breathe Interlock trademark fabric, and this one is obviously characterized by the interlock knitting that gives the fabric its structure and its density. It's also characterized by having a matte finish that feels like kind of like your skin almost. It doesn't feel too silky, doesn't feel too rough. It just feels very premium and very, very smooth. The interlock also allows the garment to hold a deeper depth of color. This gives the garment its more structured feel, but also because of Vuori's premium dyeing methods that they use, the color depth and the color consistency and the color fastness is much higher than that of a competing brand. Number four is their category of woven fabrics that use their V-cycled fibers. These are going to be woven such as plain weave, basket weave, ripstop weave fibers that use recycled polyesters, recycled nylons, and typically when you recycle these yarns, they tend to have a much more strong finish because of the method by which these yarns are recycled. So why does this make Vuori feel so expensive? Well, number one, we have to understand that these are not your run-of-the-mill fabrics. Most fabric mills in China and across the world won't even be able to replicate these fibers for you because they lack the equipment and the machinery. Number two is they actually invest in multi-stage finishing. What does this mean is that they're not just focusing on the end fabric. They're actually looking at how the yarn is spun, where it's sourced from, what happens after the fact. And lastly, they also use the highest quality and the highest end fibers from the raw material suppliers. They use GRS, RCS, OCS certified fibers. They choose to go for these certified fibers that are going to give them the edge on the competition, and they're paying more for that, and ultimately they're giving you a better product. Number two is that Vuori actually invests into what you don't see, but what you might feel. So this comes down to how the garment is assembled, the different details that the garment is used to put together. With Vuori, they're really very conscious about using flat lock seaming that uses either 4 needle 6 thread overlocks. This allows the fabric to lay very, very flat on each other and not have that additional seam allowance at the bottom that ends up rubbing against the skin. Two is they're very core and they're very keen on adding gusset panels and ergonomic panels that move with your body and that shape the garment in a way that's flattering and also functional. Next, they use double needle stitching, and this is something that you typically only see on the highest end couture or ready-to-wear brands. Next up, they are keen on using either itch-free or scratch-proof care labels and that are easily to tear away, whether they're Cinslane labels or TPU style labels, or they use heat transfer, heat press, tagless labels where they use them on the neckline, on the hip, that allow the garment to be that much more easy to wear, and it just fades away into the distance. You don't notice, you don't have these added pieces of fabric that are itching you, that are scratching at you. And then lastly, they also grade their patterns, and they grade their sizes between small, medium, large in a way that is intentional. What Vuori does is they actually have a specialized and body inclusive grading system that grades specific measurements in a more proportional way than what most brands would have. Number 3, carrying on with the idea of fit, is that Vuori is very intentional about how they fit their garments. Whereas you might look at a brand like Gymshark, like Nike, even like Alphalete, and notice that for their men's and their women's items, all of their garments are overly fitted. They're very tight on the body. With Vuori, they take a little bit more of a neutral or relaxed approach to make the customer feel more confident and more comfortable. They tend to have what I consider to be a relaxed performance hybrid fit, which means that their garments are not oversized, but they're also cut in a way where you have enough room around the waist to feel confident and comfortable. A really good example of this is their performance jogger. It has a elasticated waistband that allows for a nice snug fit at the waist that accommodates a variety of different waist types, but it also has a lot of room on the crotch and on the thighs, but it nicely tapers down towards the bottom where your calf is, where your knee is, just to give you that more streamlined and aesthetic look. And then lastly, like we mentioned in the beginning, they actually accommodate the fit to the fabric. If they're using something that's more tight, they want to have that second skin appearance to the garment, they're going to use what is known as their Bliss Blend fabric. Number 4 is their brand positioning and how they embody this California lifestyle aesthetic. Whereas if you look at a brand like Gymshark, it's a great brand, but it really positions itself solely for the gym. But when you're trying to go after a more aspirational lifestyle, you need to expand beyond the gym. This comes through in their color palette that you can wear in and out of the gym. 2 is their brand styling, the way that they position their brand on social media, on their website, on their editorials. They kind of show real people, real models that of course are carrying forward an active lifestyle. And then lastly is what we consider as quiet luxury. They design their products with minimal branding, whether it's a small reflective logo or whether it's just no branding at all or a tonal 3D silicone logo. They're very conscious about not overly branding their garments. Number 5 is that Vuori really focuses on sustainability and uses that as a cue of luxury. Now explain what that means. How they do this is they definitely use a climate neutral certified program, which essentially means that they as a company are trying to offset all their carbon emissions. They're trying to be a carbon neutral company. 2 is they have a preferred fiber program, which means that 90% of their products now all use over 50% recycled fibers in their garments. And then 3, they're increasingly focused on fair labor and making sure that the partners that they work with all comply, whether it's BSCI or whether it's WAAP. They want to make sure that their partners that they're working with treat their staff fairly, that they take care of their staff, that they are all compliant. Number 6 and lastly is the way that they position their Vuori customer experience. And Vuori is extremely well known for their infinite guarantee, which means that if you're not satisfied with the product for any reason, they're going to refund you your money, no questions asked. 2 is that they have a consistent pricing strategy. If you look at Vuori, you'll never find discounts. They sell most of their products at full price. And lastly is their retail experience. Similar to Lululemon, they really invest into curating an excellent retail experience, whether it's the position or the location of their retail stores in high-end malls, top-tier destinations across the world. They really focus on making you feel like you're purchasing something luxury and not just a run-of-the-mill gym product. Well guys, that is it. That is a wrap on this episode. Let me know what you guys think. Have you ever bought from Vuori before? What's your opinion on Vuori? I'd love to hear from you guys. As I always do, you can check the link in the description. I offer one-on-one consultation calls every single week. My slots are limited, but I'd love to hop on that call with you if you want to book it. Guys, from the very bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fit Design TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.